Hi, my name is Mawada binti Muhammad Fazir and my metric number is A22BE0139. Today I will be presenting to you about literature review and reference study on vocabulary of ecological park, landscape, planning and design in terms of climate change and resilience and adaptation to sea level rise. Many people are interested in climate change and how a changing climate will affect the ocean. Climate change is undeniably the greatest issue facing by our society all around the globe. Sea level rise has currently become a major issue for climate change. It will cause a serious impact on environmental problems such as coastal inundation, salt intrusion, and other phenomena. Let me tell you about the definition of sea level rise. Sea level rise is an increase in the level of the world's ocean due to the effect of global warming. Burning fossil fuels is one of the causes of global warming because it releases carbon dioxide and other heat-trapping gases into the atmosphere. The oceans then absorb the majority of this heat. As water becomes warmer, it expands. This results in ocean levels rising worldwide. Land-based ice such as glaciers and ice sheets is greatly affected by global warming as well, which lead to the routes to sea level rise. There are two main factors which had become the routes to the increasing number of sea level rise. The first one is the greenhouse emission and the second one is ice glaciers melt. As for the greenhouse emission, the carbon dioxide released and other greenhouse emission warms the earth and the ocean. Because water expands as it warms, the oceans are rising higher as they heat up. This leads to the melt of ice glaciers. Glaciers are found on mountaintops or near the poles. These icy giants are melting because of human activities such as greenhouse emission, which driven to global temperatures. The resulting meltwater is draining into the ocean and contributing to our rising seas. The goal of the study is to develop an efficient design in landscape as a strategy for remarkable urban strategy planning. And as for the objective, there are three of them. First, to identify the number of cases of occurs due to the sea level rise. Secondly, to find out the route on how the sea level rise takes place due to the climate change. And the third, to explore on ways how to reduce the effect of sea level rise among the humans, flora and fauna that can be implemented in design. There are three issues that had been taken seriously which happened due to the sea level rise. Firstly, flood has become the most frequent disaster among the coastal area community, especially. Secondly, salt intrusion that contaminates soil and groundwater affects the aquatic and on the land life. Moreover, coastal area community property are facing high risk threat due to the sea level rise issue if they are not mitigated. There are two approaches that had been done in management strategies to cope the sea level rise issue, which is on the landscape view and individual species and ecological process view. As for the landscape, we need to maintain connectivity. The purpose of doing so is to combat the negative effect of habitat loss and fragmentation. Next, maintain landscape heterogeneity. This is to increase the number of habitat diversity, which in turn might positively influence in species richness and can be benefited to the educational area so that the younger generation can come up with more new and sustainable solutions to cope with sea level rise issue. Meanwhile, in terms of individual species and ecological process, we have to maintain species and habitats of particular concern. This is for to ensure the survival of threatened species, plants and animals, and habitats which currently are facing increased number of it. Secondly, we need to maintain or apply appropriate disturbance regimes. This is for encourage characteristic vegetation structure and create characteristic spatial or temporal variability in vegetation patterns. Next, there are many solutions to cope this sea level rise issue which can be implemented in the landscape design. First things first, maintain and restore wetlands. Wetlands function as natural sponges that trap and slowly release surface water, rain and flood waters. Trees, roots, mats and other wetland vegetation also slow the speed of flood waters and distribute them slowly over floodplain. This combined water storage braking action lowers flood heights and reduces erosion. Next, take advantages of the beaches and use it as barriers. Beaches and dunes can act as a natural wall and reduce the impact of storm surge. The bigger the beach or larger the dune, the more water can be stopped from reaching homes and roads. Using this type of natural infrastructure can protect against flooding while maintaining beaches for the community to enjoy. Last but not least, repair and retrofit facilities. As sea level rise, salt water may intrude into coastal aquifers, resulting in substantially higher treatment costs. The injection of fresh water into aquifers can help to slow down sinkage and initiating pilot projects to reverse land sinkage. Thank you, and that's all from me. Next, I'll let Nur Ain to explain about our reference study.
Thank you, Tamawada. I will proceed about the reference study. For the introduction, the Little Island was chosen as the reference study, which is located in Manhattan, New York, USA. It covers 2.4 acres and supported by 102 boat-shaped structure called Tulip. It's been 7 years in making. Now, the Little Island is free for public park and green space. It finally opened to the New York City citizens and tourists, also for children, students, and so on. And for the next is circulation, contextual proximity, and connectivity. The best way to get to Little Island is by taking public transport, walk, or use your own car. And also for city bike. With 5 minute walk from the Little Island, you will find at least 3 docking stations. To use to lock your bike and upright the entrance of the park. And the night is for special planning and design layout. The space that they use is have a four for the visitor and also for the citizen. First is the Glen. The Glen, the Glen is a mini performance area where various music, dance, poetry, and comedy show take place. The second one is the playground. Actually, it's not a playground, but a plaza with a city, uh, with a city area, and also have the umbrella as a various, and also have a various food store. And the third one, and the third is main lawn. Main lawn is a space for people to have picnic and relax, also enjoy their leisure time with the scenes of the scene view of the little island. And the last is amphitheater, is the main performance area, which also act as a place where people enjoy the magnificent sunset view from here. And next is for people and place interaction. First, the main law, amphitheater, and the playground. The, the user can use this place for their activity or other another thing for their own education or activity and so on. And next is the sustainable development goal that we choose is have two. One, climate change. We choose because the design place 400 or more species plant to match with the climate in the city, and the pile of rise to prevent the flooding and rising water levels. And the second one is the life below water. We choose this because the design attended to previous the whole period because it's intended for marine habitat under the island and also for tree breeding. Before I continue with my conclusion, I want to show one video that maybe we can choose a solution to make about the flooding or sea level rise. The video show that impact from the water from stage to the other stage. If you can see in front of this, water give more impact because the furnace has no anything to to avoid this. But in the middle, they use the green wall to avoid the impact for the community, for the infrastructure. And you see in the back, the impact of the water is not, it doesn't give the impact and at all. Just this just to be the like the original place like this. Maybe I think we have to, maybe we can be a solution that we can use for the future to avoid the floating or sea level rise. And as a conclusion, sea level rise has been measured across the world since 1850. The world ocean are now 20 centimeters higher than they were back then. Such a change poses a problem for 250 million people who live close to the sea. It will affect our ability to grow crop in coastal farm, make it difficult to maintain the quality of drinking water, and will alter the way we live in the developed our country. That's all from us. Thank you for your contribution.